Everyone feared the river after dark, except the prince who kept returning. He fell in love with what the night hid, and the night never gave him back. The river of Amaniyi was not like any other river in the lands. By day, it appeared ordinary. Brown water flowed lazily, fish leapt and glimmered under the sun, and children splashed in its edges, shouting and laughing. Women came to wash clothes, beating the fabric against stones, their songs mixing with the wind. Everything seemed calm. Everything seemed ordinary. But when night fell, when the village slept under the heavy weight of the moonlight, the river became alive. Elders whispered that it remembered old promises, old tragedies, old sorrows. It breathed like a living being. It listened. It waited. At night, the water glowed softly, catching the moon as if it had bottled it inside. The air around it became strange, cold, sweet, and heavy at the same time. Crickets stopped their songs, and even the wind slowed as if it were afraid to disturb something sacred. Nobody went there after sunset, not because of laws, not because of warnings carved in stone, but because fear lived deep inside their bones. Fear, the kind that clung to your skin and whispered in your dreams. Except Prince Sola. He was tall, quiet, thoughtful, the only son of King Adekunle, heir to Amaniyi. He did not enjoy the hunting games or the endless feasts. He disliked the palace walls, too tall, too heavy, too many eyes pressing on him. He liked silence, the soft music of leaves, the whispers of the river, the night. And so one night, when sleep refused to come, his feet carried him out of the palace without thought, as if the night itself guided him. The moon was full, its light spilling silver across the village, and he walked quietly until he found himself at the river's edge. And that was when he saw her. She stood there, barefoot, on the soft wet sand. Her white cloth shone faintly under the moonlight, like it carried the moon inside it. Her hair, long and black as midnight, cascaded down her back. She did not startle at his presence. She did not flinch. Instead, she smiled slowly, deliberately, like she had been waiting all her life for this exact moment. Prince Sola felt his chest tighten, his heartbeat shaking like a drum in a secret ceremony. "You should not be here, Prince," she said. Her voice was soft, flowing like water sliding over smooth stones. Not a warning, not an anger, but a truth that pressed itself against his ribs. Prince Sola froze. He did not ask how she knew who he was. Something inside him already knew. Something older than reason whispered, "She knows everything." He swallowed and stepped closer, the river whispering beneath his feet. "And you?" he asked, his voice trembling. "Who are you?" She smiled again. This time, sadness curled in the corners of her lips, like shadows in moonlight. She said, "My name is Zara." She said no more. And yet, she said everything. The river shone behind her. The moon hung low. Prince Sola wanted to ask 100 questions, but his mouth refused to open. Instead, he felt something he had not felt in years. Calm, safe, like he had returned home after a long, forgotten journey. That night, they spoke until the moon sank, painting the river silver and black. She told him about the stars, the wind, the songs that old trees remembered. She laughed softly at his awkward jokes, and he laughed too for the first time in months. When the first touch of dawn touched the sky, she stepped back. "I can only come at night," she said. "Why?" he asked, panic rising like fire in his throat. She looked at the river, her dark eyes reflecting its light. "Because that is where I belong." And then, without a step, without a sound, she faded into the water like mist, leaving him standing alone, with only the cold silver of the river around him. Prince Sola stood there long after sunrise, knowing the world he had known before had ended. From that night onward, he returned every evening, quietly, secretly. He told no one, not his father, not the palace guards, not even his closest friend. The night became his world, and Zara became his reason for breathing. She was always there, waiting, always glowing faintly, always carrying a sadness she could not hide completely. They spoke of dreams and fears, of laughter and pain, things forbidden in the daylight. Prince Sola felt alive in a way he had never known. The palace walls, the crown, the throne, they all became distant shadows. Only the river, the night, and Zara mattered. But there were rules. She never crossed the river. She never accepted his gifts, and when he tried to hold her hand, his fingers passed through empty air. That scared him. "Why can't I touch you?" he asked one night, voice trembling. Zara looked away. "Some things are not meant to be held," she said. Her whisper trembled like a fragile leaf in the wind. He wanted to understand. He wanted to refuse it. But love does not always understand. Love stays anyway. And slowly, Prince Sola began to fade from the living world, night by night, step by step, until the palace seemed like a distant dream he had once known. People noticed changes. The prince ate less. He slept during the day, wandered at night. His eyes no longer shone with curiosity, but looked far away, as if listening to a voice only he could hear. The king worried. The queen cried quietly at night, pressing her palms to her face. Elders were called. Diviners threw cowries and shook their heads. "The prince's spirit is walking where it should not," one old man said. "He is crossing paths meant only for the dead," said another. Prince Sola heard none of it. All he knew was Zara. Her voice, her sorrow, her love, fragile as glass but heavy as stone. One night, he could no longer hold back the question that haunted his heart. "Zara, what are you?" he asked. The river went still. The moon dimmed as if the night itself waited for her reply. "I died," she said. Tears rolled down her cheeks and fell silently into the water. Prince Sola's breath caught in his chest. The night swallowed him whole. Zara told her story slowly, each word steeped in grief. Years ago, Amaniyi had been cursed. The river had turned black. Crops failed. Children grew sick. Elders sought answers. The gods demanded a sacrifice, a pure heart, willingly given. Zara, not royal, not rich, only kind, offered herself. She had stepped into the river at night, while drums cried, while the people watched but did not stop her. She prayed for the village, for the children, for a future she would never see. The curse lifted, but she remained, bound to the river, bound to the night, forgotten. Prince Sola fell to his knees, shaking. "And if I love you," he whispered. Her eyes darkened with fear. "Then you may never leave." The elders confronted him finally. They took him to the sacred grove and spoke truth without mercy. "The girl is a spirit," the chief priest said. "Loving her will pull you into the river world, slowly, quietly. One day, your body will remain, but your soul will not." Prince Sola laughed bitterly. "Then let my soul go," he said. The elders shouted, the king begged, the queen fainted. But love does not heed warnings. That night, he went to the river again. Zara was waiting, and when he stepped into the water, it felt warm, inviting, like a soft breath. The river opened to him, and he stepped fully into the unknown. Night after night, he felt himself lighter. His reflection no longer appeared clearly in mirrors or water. Dogs barked when he passed. Babies cried when he came near. He was becoming something else, something that belonged neither to the living nor fully to the dead. Zara held him close, though her arms were mist. She said, "You should stop. I don't want to destroy you." "But I already left the world the day I met you," he whispered. The river began to rise. The moon turned blood red. Spirits whispered around them, hidden in shadows, watching, waiting. The gods appeared in dreams across Amaniyi. Storms shook the land. The river overflowed. Crops wilted. Children cried. The message was clear. One soul must stay, one must go. Zara knew what it meant. That final night, she kissed his forehead, her tears cold like rain. You must return, you still belong to the living. Prince Sola shook his head. I choose you. The river opened wide, swallowing them. The night screamed, the stars blinked as if afraid. By dawn, palace guards found only his crown lying on the riverbank. His clothes were dry, his body was gone. The king went mad. The queen never spoke again. The river returned to normal, but villagers sometimes see two figures at night, one glowing faintly, one fading slowly. They say love pulled the prince into death. They say the river still sings. They say Amaniyi lost its future because a heart refused to let go. Till today, no one goes to that river at night. Love is powerful, and sometimes love is the curse. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe to support more stories like this. Your support keeps these African folk tales alive and helps us share lessons that matter. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being part of this journey.